Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Hillside. I'm sorry, I know it's been a little bit since I posted a little video, but I've been crazy busy. So it's now August 5th, and it has been exceptionally dry pretty much the entire month of June, going into probably late July. We had one day it rained, didn't really amount to anything at all. The grass is completely brown, hard, it is cracked. Especially when you have clay soil, it's going to crack. But you know what? One thing you can't forget is that it is time to start your seeds for your fall garden. And what you see in front of you here are some Georgia collards, just my favorite kind here, just nothing special. Just your typical Georgia collard, some I planted earlier that are now kind of growing in this temporary container till I transplant them out into the garden. And right here in this 6-pack cell, some more seeds that are kind of a little bit farther behind to kind of give it a little staggered effect. But like I said, just because it's been in the 90s every day, which is above average for us, like I said, no rain whatsoever. So I've been having to water these guys constantly, which is it's fine. It just comes with the territory. Last year it rained every day, so it's the complete opposite of this year. So some years you're going to water more than others. You just gotta kind of have to adjust and adapt and keep going, because you need to get those fall crops ready and prepare for that upcoming season. That being said, just kind of give you a little bit of a show and tell here. These, if I showed you my video about what seeds you can plant late in the season, these are some Market More cucumbers, and they started off very slowly. I planted 6. I think there's only 3 that have survived. 3 survived, and the other 3 were eaten by, well, I guess 2 were eaten by insects, and 1 succumbed to the heat and kind of dried out, and it just didn't make it. But as you see right here, this is an old, just a recycled tote. I've used this for storing compost and everything you can imagine in. So I'm all about repurposing some things, and that's cool. So these are just an experiment to see how late in the season I could plant these, and I believe it was middle of July. So they're doing fine. They're starting to put out some little tendrils right here, so they are starting to get into that stage where they're going to start vining out. But whether I get something or not, it's not really important. It's just kind of an experiment. It's something to do that's fun. And yeah, but there you go, guys. So starting something in the fall is very rewarding, and I love fall gardening for this reason. It's almost like a light switch hits, at least where I live in Zone 7A, 6B, right on the border there in West Virginia. And the humidity almost overnight just disappeared. July was just super humid. Almost around August, boom, humidity almost drops probably in half. I don't understand why. I'm sure it's normal. It happens every year. But there you go. So, you kind of feel that change in the season. I don't know what it is, but maybe it kind of signals to yourself that, hey, the fall is going to be approaching. If you're going to start something, you have to do it now. And like I said, as an experiment, these collard greens I started, and they are doing fine. They're kind of surviving. A couple didn't make it. As you can see, the big empty spots right through here. Those guys, I did believe they did sprout, but then died from the heat. So the ones that did survive are going to be tougher, more adaptive, and go on from there. But this side of my house, really can't tell at this moment, but it's about 6 in the evening. It is shaded out. I'm almost in, well, I mean, you can still see, but it's not complete shade, but there is no sun. It's on the other side of the house. So these guys get nice morning sun, that hot, direct August heat, where the sun is just beating down, no clouds in the sky whatsoever, is just going to melt these seedlings. So when you start some seeds in the fall, you need to keep that in mind. You want to make sure you put your seedlings in the most opportune way to succeed. Just like when you start seeds in the spring, you have to fast forward and think about in the fall. In the spring, you're worried about what? A late frost, cold weather. So you're going to protect those plants from the cold. But on the contrary, you might put those in full sun because, it's cold outside and they need the heat, they need the sun, they need to grow, etc., etc. Well, this is the fall season. If I went ahead and put this little 6-pack of collards out in the main sun, out in the front porch there, or in the front flower beds, or just somewhere else where they're going to get blasted all day, I guarantee you within a week, there'll be nothing left. I'll have to water this constantly because it'll dry out pretty much overnight, if it even makes it one day. Where over here in the shade, I water them in the evening, they're doing just fine. They're actually healthy, other than a few little, I believe slug right there has gotten a hold of that one right there. Other than that, these guys, they're doing fine. They're going to perk up. Oh, yeah, just a sidetrack here. Someone told me you could not grow tomato plants from tomato suckers, so I pulled a couple suckers off one of my tomatoes, stuck it in the ground. It looked droopy for a couple days. Guess what? It's growing, it's healthy, it's perked back up. I will be pulling this out because I have no intentions of growing this out, but you know who you are. This is a proof right here. Yes, you pull a sucker off a tomato plant, stick it in the dirt, keep it moist, keep it warm. It's going to perk back up. You can't kill tomatoes. If you really wanted to, you could just take all the suckers, or if you top your plants, put them in some water, put them in some soil, whatever. There you go, more tomato plants. Just do with that as you will. But I mean, getting back to the topic of starting seeds in the fall, you know, we always take our seedlings in the spring, and as soon as they're put into the garden, if you're fortunate enough to have an indoor growing set up, you know, what are you going to do? You're just going to go ahead and show you some of these peppers here. These guys really starting to produce some banana peppers right there. Sorry to be distracted, but I'm just looking around and see so many things I want to show you and talk about. Some Marconi peppers here, super sweet. First one's turning red down there. I will do a review on these. These are my favorite sweet peppers. If you eat these, you would never grow bell peppers, but I'm preaching to the choir here because people love bell peppers for some reason, and they don't even taste good. But anyhow, getting back to the seedlings and just showing stuff around, you put your stuff up in the springtime, when you could just keep those in the back of your garage or your storage closet or something else. Break those things out in the fall. You can start the seeds in the fall the same as you can in the spring. Oftentimes better, because some of the stuff, like I'm trying to experiment. I'm trying to grow some celery and some arugula and a couple other greens inside under the grow lights. And this is, like I said, it's August 5th. It's 93 degrees outside, and I have plants going inside. Most people wouldn't think that. They would automatically say, well, it's fall or it's hot, it's summer. Seeds are going to do just fine because it's not cold. You know, we start seeds indoors in the wintertime. It's cold, so we're trying to beat that cold, trying to get a jump on the season, where you might think that, hey, it's warm, it's summertime, let's throw some seeds in, they're going to do just great. Not the case. These collard greens here are in the shade. They are protected. They have other giant plants like this growing in front of them, so they are dappled shade, dappled sunlight, I guess I'm trying to say. They're protected from the hot, burning sun, and as well as, check it out, more stuff. Sorry, the gas meter there. This is Roselle. I'm trying to grow this for the first time. It's not flowering, it's just an experiment, but it's picking up. It does love the heat if you ever tried to grow it before. Again, off topic, but like I was saying, as I'm walking around talking and showing some peppers off here, because I'm kind of getting bored sitting down, but there's some more my peppers down there just growing in an absolute jungle. What was I trying to say? I don't know. I get really distracted, see all this cool stuff growing. Yeah, but anyways, the fall gardening, sometimes it's more beneficial to start them inside, give them the best head start you can, and then set the transplants out as the temperatures cool down, which is an experiment I'm doing with my greens and a couple celery plants inside, just as an experiment, just playing around, just having some fun. So anyways, I'll stop rambling on there, guys. But yeah, when you start your seeds in the fall, take the proper precautions. Don't let them get burned up. Start them in the best possible way. If you can't start them inside, start them in the shade. Still getting more sunlight than you probably would inside in a sunny window, whether you realize it or not, because you know, direct sun from the sunlight outside, and especially outdoors, is going to be more intense than you can ever produce indoors. Anyways, I'll leave you at that. But anyhow, thanks for stopping by, checking out the Hillside Garden, and listening to me ramble on about starting some seeds and showing off some plants. I will have some more information coming up with the fall gardening season. This is just kind of a primer, and I just wanted to get some stuff out there while I was thinking about it. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please drop a comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time here on the Hillside. All right, bye.